This meeting of the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is called to order. Join us today in standing for the invocation by Steve Van Winkle from Canyon Community Baptist Church, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Steve.
Good morning.
Could you turn that mic on right there? Push the button right in the center.
Heavenly Father, we are here this morning, first of all, grateful for a nation of liberty and freedom, where we can select our leaders and bring our petitions before them. We ask this morning that the business conducted here will be done with grace and humility and great wisdom. Father, we also ask your blessings upon these who are willing to serve. And Father, to express our gratitude for the blessings you've poured out on our community because of your great mercy. And also, Father, for the salvation you offer to all in your Son, Jesus Christ. We ask you would bless this meeting in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Here.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Croce.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Victoria.
Present. Approval of the agenda. I believe we have one item that we need to remove to a later meeting. Item number 3 on new business.
Indeed, Mr. Chair, I move to approve today's agenda with the following change. Remove item number 3, the transfer of an operator conditional use permit, 16-001 Colorado Quarries, and then renumber items 4 through 8 reflecting that removal.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Consent agenda. We have our approval of the minutes and bills. We also are scheduling a couple of public hearings, one for November 10th. And that's for the Upper Arkansas Agency Council of Governments. That is a presentation by the representatives from UCOG on the closeout of the single-family owner-occupied rehabilitation grant. And also the Fremont County budget. We are setting that public hearing for also Monday, November 10th.
With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second, just with the clarification that the Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments public hearing that we are scheduling is not actually an action item for this board. It's simply for information.
That's a good point, yes. They're required to give us that in a public hearing setting, but it is not an action item, correct. All right, it has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to our administrative and informational portion of our agenda. Begin with our staff and elected officials, and at this time we will turn to our county treasurer, Kathy Elliott, for her report.
Good morning.
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 So things were a little slower the third quarter. Releases of deeds of trust, we did 336. Foreclosures, we initiated 27 of those. Ending balance as of September 30th, that will decrease quite a bit this quarter because we're going to be transferring money to general fund before the end of year on that. Just some interesting little information. We've had 3 new bankruptcies that were filed this year on foreclosures. So total of bankruptcies in all the files that we have are 6. One is from 2019. We're trying to get that file pulled. Cures, so people that have actually come in and been able to rectify their balances. We have had 3. We have started, as of the end of September, 66 foreclosures. Last year it was 41. So it's creeping up a bit. We have sold 27 sales this year. We've withdrawn 32, and again, we don't know why they're withdrawn, if they've sold them or we don't know. And 24 of the new foreclosures have been VA loans. We still have not sold the mobile home parks. They just keep continuing those out, and they can do that until the 2nd of July next year. So,
Okay. Any questions or comments?
I do have a
for the public
question.
Trustee, please.
Yes. So Kathy, the 41 foreclosures from last year, was that year to date, or was that for the entire calendar year of '24?
no, that was from same timeframe.
The same time frame.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's too bad. Hate to hear that many foreclosure, especially VA loans.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a motion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to accept the Public Trustee Quarterly Report for the third quarter of 2025.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Now on to our county clerk's monthly report. Clerk Grantham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. The total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for September of this year were $1,432,448.79. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $804,077.83, which is 56% of the total fees, and is $364,539.86 less than September of last year. Year-to-date, our office is down $153,042.71. I will note that I've been mentioning this for a few months now, that the prior 2 years, for '22 and '23, we've had businesses, big businesses, sell all of their motor vehicle equipment, so we've had higher than normal expectations for September and October. So now this is reflecting because no one sold in September. So expect this in October as well.
We knew it was coming.
Yep.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Any questions, comments, other than ugh?
That pretty much covers it, sir.
All right, how about a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the county clerk's September monthly report.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And now we move on to our county administrator report from our county administrator, Tony Carochi.
Morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. So just a couple items this morning. We'll start with the job opportunities that we have posted for Fremont County. We'll begin with the Department of Human Services. We have 2 vacancies posted, a social caseworker on the ongoing team, which closes November the 6th, and a social caseworker on the Family Treatment Drug Court core team, which closes November the 5th. In our Department of Transportation unit, we have 1 posting for a light heavy-duty technician that closes 11/3/2025. And our Fremont County Sheriff's Office has an ongoing posting for a patrol deputy, and I say ongoing, we do this every month, but it closes 11/17/2025. So for more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please visit our county website at fremontcountyco.gov, or you can call our HR office at 719-276-7409. And then just a reminder from our Department of Transportation team that the Fremont County DOT has closed down Phantom Canyon Road yesterday, October the 27th, and will be closed through approximately December the 27th to redeck and repair 2 bridges. During this time, no one will be allowed to pass through, including any tours or bicyclists, as there will be no deck to carry traffic. We will have signage indicating closure, as well as a turnaround sign to ensure the public is fully aware of the closure. The public will have the opportunity to turn around at the 230 bridge on mile marker 22. And that's all I have this morning.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments for Mr. Carochi?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we turn to us. Who wants to go first? Or do you have anything? Or
Well, of
there's
course
no
I
fire
do.
danger anymore, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There's still a warning.
Commissioner, please.
yes, thank you. I have a couple of things I'd like to talk about this morning. First is a little more difficult. I just would like to recognize the one-year anniversary of the loss of Eric Seebeck. He was our facilities director. Eric was one of those larger-than-life people, and he did a great job for us here in Fremont County. So I just would like to make note that, Eric, it's been a year already, but we still miss you, my friend. Adding to that, the fact that Randy Toller has stepped in with more than capable shoes, and he now is our facilities director, continuing the really, really good work that Eric and his crew started. So the other thing that I have this morning, Mr. Chair, is much happier. So I'm super excited, if you haven't heard yet, to announce that it is a three-peat, ladies and gentlemen, for the Florence High School Howling Husky Pride Marching Band, who was just named Colorado's Class 1A state champions for, indeed, the third year in a row. Just yesterday, they set a Colorado Bandmasters Association state record with the highest score ever recorded for a Class 1A band. It takes a lot of people to help make this happen. Obviously, first and foremost, the band kids themselves. But then their parents, the Florence Band Boosters, the staff, their visual design team. They had guest clinicians come in this year and help them, their official sponsors, and the entire community itself, as well as the staff, administration, and all of the students at Florence High School. So I would like to propose to FHS, we get them again here for another meeting to present them with a proclamation, once again, for Howling Husky Pride Day throughout Fremont County, like we did a year ago, and that was only a repeat performance. So the question is, band, would you like to show up at our next meeting on Monday, November 10th at 9 a.m.? So official conversations will ensue. We're going to do everything we can to get them here. And I'm also going to say, let's start planning for 2026 because we want a four-peat.
There we go.
So congratulations to our Howling Husky Pride. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, look forward to having them.
Yes.
And congratulations to the band. It's not an easy thing in any sport or any kind of competition to win, let alone
3 in a row.
to win twice or 3 times in a row or more. That implies a culture of where they're emphasizing that particular art and the teamwork there that it takes to win that competition. I think the clerk knows a little bit about that, and I do in a cursory fashion, but winning is 3 times in a row. That's impressive.
It is impressive.
Just pretty darn impressive.
Very proud of my alma mater, I have to say.
They've improved, haven't they?
They actually have, yes.
Congratulations, Florence, that's great.
Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just briefly want to mention something that, because you've seen it all over the news, we got some folks from DHS sitting in here with us this morning, but about the SNAP benefits possibly ending at the end of the month, if not sooner for some. Fremont County has 7,482 SNAP recipients, which is about 15.3% of our county. I know the state's been working on some different things, but still hoping that the federal government will do their job and open the government back up. They have one job to do, and that's it, is keep the government running. So hopefully they'll get that funded and these individuals won't be affected. But I do know that even around the state that food pantries and stuff have been affected pretty bad already, a lot. So just keep all that in your prayers, I guess, and hopefully they'll get that rectified and take care of those people. And last but not least, there is still fire danger, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Good to know.
The trees are.
I'm glad you're here to let us
Trees
know.
are dry, and the wonderful moisture we had this spring, and the grass is about this tall, and that makes for good fuels. So as you're out and about, be very careful and diligent. Don't start any fires. Don't drag chains. Don't throw your cigarettes out. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. With that, the fuels such as they are only increases the danger this time of year. When it cools down, you think you're out of danger, but you're not.
Not
So
so much.
don't really have much to add. We are, of course, in the middle of budget season, and so that is pretty much foremost on our minds as commissioners. But simultaneously, this time of year, we are always looking forward to the legislative session coming up in January to May.
Was that a facetious remark, Mr.
Looking-
Chair?
Looking forward as in it is out in the future, and we are looking at it as it is coming down the tracks. We
Not
are-
necessarily with excitement.
We are the ones in the tunnel as
Okay.
the light is coming down the tunnel. We are painfully aware of how we've been treated over the last few legislative sessions, and we're under no illusions of how we are going to be treated in this next one. We will continue to fight for our local control, fight for counties. We had a discussion yesterday with the cities, Florence and Canyon. They're in the same boat. They're in the same boat that we are, and I'm sure CML and CCI will be working together on many issues when it comes to local control this coming year, as well as some of the other elected official associations, the county clerks and the sheriffs, and Kathy's already taken off, so I think the Treasurers Association in some ways as well. So in any case, we will continue to fight for our local control, fight for the citizens of Fremont County. And that is it for me. Yes, I thought you might.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just as a sharing across the elected officials, I was given the opportunity to actually go teach a class at the Treasurers Association conference that just happened, letting them know the ins and outs and how we actually intermingle the two offices, especially with the public trustees side. So that was pretty interesting to be able to get that information across, and hopefully we can continue to collaborate when it comes to the future of the two offices, because we do have a lot in common and do a lot of working with each other. So that was a great opportunity. And also to see some past clerks that are now treasurers. That was a lot more than I thought. So I guess the trend goes. On the election side, on the other hand, yesterday was the last day for you to update or change your address to mail out ballots. We can no longer mail out ballots. And so if you haven't already voted, which I'm assuming everybody has, but if you haven't, you can go to the voting center. It is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 1, and Election Day, 7 to 7. It's located at 201 North 6th Street, which is the Garden Park building or the Public Health building. If you're wanting to drop off your ballot, a lot of people have noticed that I have removed the drop box outside of my office, and it is in the Garden Park parking lot. If you enter from the Greenwood side and you go down the middle lane, it'll be there on the right before the alleyway. That has been transitioned to a drive-through drop box. Same thing with the drop box out in Penrose that is now located at the library instead of the elementary school. Which is a drive-through as well. It's a really great opportunity for us. We added a new drop box out at DHS. It is also a drive-through drop box. If you're catching my drift here in my hinting, everything is drive-through with the exception of Cotopaxi, which we're looking at trying to make that one as a drive-through as well, so that you don't have to get out in the weather, even though it's supposed to be a beautiful 72 degrees on Election Day. But we're trying our best to make it convenient and accessible for everybody without causing too much havoc. So if you haven't voted, please come in and vote. Drop it off in my office. Drop it off in a drop box. We'd be more than welcome to have you. If you guys are paying attention to my Facebook, Clerk Grantham, I do put periodic updates on there, including turn-ins of ballots, which is around 15% now. I'll be posting that a little bit later this afternoon. So it's a better turnout than 2 years ago in the odd years so far. So keep those ballots coming in. And as always, I have an open door policy. I'm transparent as possible. So if you want to come talk to me or need anything from my office, don't hesitate to walk in, and I'll do my best to accommodate you. So there you go.
Okay. Anything else up here?
Oh, and there is a fire danger. I heard you say that. However, personal privilege. My son and I were going home, and we didn't want to get out of the car because it looked like it was raining up. And no, it's just all the cottonwood and all the cotton and the wind blowing it up off the, from the ground up. So it was really scary. So there is fire danger, absolutely.
All right. With that, we'll move on in our agenda to the portion where citizens who wish to address the commissioners may speak on a matter not scheduled on the agenda. We have one person signed up, Mr. John Hamrick. Sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you
Morning.
for affording me the opportunity to speak to you. What I want to speak to you about this morning is a current rate case before the Public Utilities Commission by Black Hills Electric that's going to affect us all. What they are engaged in is a distribution system planning process where they are planning on capital expenditures to expand and maintain their distribution system. The Black Hills is requesting a 40% increase in distribution system investments. That, if approved, could result in a 50% rate increase by 2029, just 4 short years, 50%. Oh my goodness. Well, this is in furtherance of the carbon-free electric grid as mandated by the legislature. Colorado's electric grid, as it stands right now, since we've been replacing reliable, dependable coal-fired plants with unreliable wind and solar energy sources. But if we achieve the mandate set by the legislature of replacing our vehicles with electric vehicles, the grid would be overwhelmed. It would not be able to provide enough power for those processes, for those cars, and for the public to use in their homes. And what add on top of that, the server grids required by artificial intelligence, and all of a sudden we're going to be in a crisis here really quickly. Now, Black Hills has made a public relations blunder by not getting ahead of this issue and discussing this in public and affording the public a voice in this proceeding. And so there's going to be lots of thunder and lightning directed at them. But what I'm here to remind everybody today is that what they are doing is carrying out the mandates established by our legislature. And these mandates are going to be really disastrous. And my final comment is that this loaf of bread has been baked up in Denver by the legislature, that we're going to face the electric grid crisis that is coming. And I just wanted to remind everybody that blaming Black Hills for this is like blaming the bakery truck driver for your loaf of bread. They did not bake it. It was baked elsewhere. And thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, John, and thank you for the analogy. I will use that in the future. This is something we've been telling folks for a long time, that when you have multiple pieces of legislation over the course of the last 15 to 20 years that have piled on this and has created this situation that Black Hills finds themselves in, and now that we find ourselves in. And the rate increase requests do not happen in a vacuum. They happen for a reason, and we have to talk about what those reasons are. So thank you for that. Anybody else? Well, let's move on in our agenda to the new business items, and we will begin with our Fremont County Adoption Day proclamation. And with us this morning, Brenda Rawl and, is this Amanda? I don't.
Yes, sir.
Amanda.
Dave Rod is not able to make it this
Okay.
morning.
Amanda Cohen.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for being here. This is one of the great privileges that we have in doing this and doing these proclamations on such important things. So Brenda, please take it away.
Thank you. Whereas the County of Fremont recognizes the importance of giving children permanent, safe, and loving families through adoption, and whereas Colorado is recruiting for 342 children who are free for adoption, and Fremont County has 7 children waiting for adoption. And whereas to help these children for permanent nurturing families, the Fremont County Court will open their doors for the National Adoption Day, November the 21st, 2025, to finalize the adoption of one local child and join our other organizations to celebrate adoptions. And whereas this effort, along with similar celebrations in all 50 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, will offer children the chance to live with stable and loving families and encourage all other dedicated individuals to make a powerful difference in the life of a child through adoption. Now, therefore, we, the Fremont County Commissioners, by virtue of the authority vested in the board, do hereby proclaim November 21st, 2025 as Adoption Day in Fremont County, and in doing so, we urge all citizens to join in a national effort to raise awareness about the importance of adoption. Signed, Commissioner Kevin Grantham, District 1, Commissioner Debbie Bell, District 2, Commissioner Dwayne McFall, Commissioner 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
And any other comments about Adoption Day, or feel free to?
You're all invited.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're all invited. The workers and the kid would, and their family would love to see you.
Okay. Debbie.
Yes, I might have a question for you. I hope you know the answer. So the 7 Fremont County children waiting to be adopted, have some of those found who you believe will be their forever family and they're working their way through the process? Or are there really 7 children who do not have an idea of where their future will be?
Do you know the answer?
I do.
Okay.
All of the children have the forever family. We're just waiting on court appeals, and that sometimes takes up to a year. So we find the children permanent families way before the court gives us authority to place them in an adoption.
One of the reasons that I love our folks at the Department of Human Services so very much, because you really are there to serve the children. You're there to serve the families, and you do an incredible job of doing that. So to you and your entire team who work on this every single day, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Job well done.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I want to echo that. Thank you guys for what you do. I tell you, it's very cool. I've been able to go attend a couple of those over the last few years when my schedule allowed, and it was even more awesome because I knew the folks that were adopting the kids. So that makes it pretty special, but appreciate what you do and the happiness on those kids, you know, that I think last time I was at, one of the little boys says, "Am I adopted yet?" And they were still in the middle of the process, and it's just so cool. He was excited to get adopted, so thank you for what you guys do. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's like a broken record, but we have days like this and proclamations like this, and we get to brag on our DHS department and all the good work that they do and making days like this happen for these kids. So thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
I have a motion.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I move to, excuse me, to approve this Fremont County Adoption Day proclamation.
Proclaiming November 21st.
Yes, as Adoption Day
As
here in
Adoption
Fremont
Day.
County of 2025.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grant.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I think we would like to get a picture with you guys, and you two, and you. I see all you guys hiding back there.
All of y'all.
All y'all.
All of y'all. Once you do all the work, get the all
All right. Next item on our agenda, item number 2, transfer of ownership, special review use 05-007 Apex Twin Enviro. This is the Apex Twin will be purchasing the Fawn Hollow Transfer Station SRU 05007 at 645 McDaniel Boulevard here in Canyon City. And with us, represented from Apex, is Chris Brochu.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Chris. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, so we are assuming ownership of the transfer station, and we're just asking that the SRU be transferred from Alpine to Twin Enviro Apex Waste Solutions.
Okay. Staff report.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Dan.
So here we have a transfer of ownership for the Fawn Hollow Transfer Station. The purpose is Twin Landfill of Fremont County, LLC, DBA Apex Twin Enviro of Canyon City, a wholly owned subsidiary of Apex Waste Solutions, LLC, Apex Twin, has entered into an agreement to acquire the assets of Alpine Disposal Incorporated and its solid waste and recycling business in Canyon City, Colorado. As part of the transaction, Apex Twin will be purchasing the Fawn Hollow Transfer Station, SRU 05007, at 645 McDaniel Boulevard in Canyon. The closing date is expected to be November 1st, 2025. Apex Twin Enviro assumes responsibility for the performance of all obligations, conditions, and guarantees imposed upon the approved permit. Apex is aware of a few compliance issues that currently exist on the site and accept responsibility once they obtain ownership. Background associated cases, SRU 05007 changed ownership on January 10th, 2023 from Howard Disposal Services LLC to Alpine Disposal, Inc., with a recording permit number dated 4/4/2023. Sometime after the ownership change on January 10th, Republic Waste Services Management began operating at this location without an approved change of operator application. With that being said, staff recommends approval of the transfer of ownership to Apex Twin Enviro.
Okay, any questions for the applicant or for Dan?
One,
Okay,
this just includes the transfer station,
Yes.
just the transfer station alone.
okay.
I guess the only comment I have is maybe the most important thing in this packet for me is that Apex Twin will assume responsibility for the performance of all obligations, conditions, and guarantees as set forth in the existing permit. So with that understanding.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and he said you guys are aware of the infractions they're already experiencing up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've already taken steps to fix those.
Well, we do appreciate that. And the ongoing effort to get that back in compliance. We do appreciate that. All right, any other questions, comments, motions?
I got a motion for you, Mr. Chair.
Please.
Just as a note though too, we do have two different packets. One's 40 pages long and one is also 40 pages long, I think, anyway. So it's not like we're just seeing this little bit of information and making this decision. There's a lot of information before us, and appreciate the work you guys have done on that. With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve transfer of ownership SRU 05-007 to Apex Twin Enviro.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded, and appreciate the reminder, Commissioner McFall, because occasionally one of you mentions it. We do have significant packets that we do go through and do read before we get here, and appreciate all the work of our staff putting that together, and the applicants as well as getting all this information to us in a timely fashion. So with that being said, any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Next item, new item number 3 is 25-004, a subdivision exemption, Golden. It's being requested for 13440 County Road 45 in Coaldale. Applicant today is Don White. Don,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank
go
you.
ahead and present what you are doing here today.
So I am a real estate broker. I was representing the Goldens in selling their home, and through the process, we learned that the there was a 95-acre parcel apparently that had been cut up, and they had the corner piece, which is about 3 acres, and that maybe or maybe was not completely done properly. So through the process, we've identified the well that's been augmented, and it's been there for 40 years. So we didn't know what else to really address. But through the title commitment process, the title commitment is asking for a letter from the county that says it's a properly formed subdivision. And so I came up to the planning department, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but in an effort to get a letter, it was recommended that we apply for the exemption.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Don?
Not at this time.
No.
Okay. Move to our staff for a staff report. Mr. Victoria.
Yes, we have subdivision exemption 25004 Golden. Applicants Don White, owners Harley and Pauline Golden. They're requesting a subdivision exemption for an existing lot that is 3.14 acres. The subject property is located in the residential 1 zone district at 13440 County Road 45 in Coaldale. This lot doesn't meet the development requirements for that zone district. For the improvements, it has a single-family residence and accessory buildings. For planning and zoning department recommendations, hold on a second here. Senate Bill 35 came into effect on June 1st of 1972, which regulates subdivisions within the state of Colorado. It mandated counties must adopt subdivision regulations no later than September 1st of 1972. The first deed for this parcel was created on May 19th of 1982 and recorded on June 4th, 1982. This lot was found to have been illegally created after the applicant presented the property to a title insurance company. With that said, the department finds no reason why this property shouldn't be considered for a subdivision exemption based off of multiple factors such as creation date, different owner, and it's already developed. If this lot is granted an exemption, it would allow the owner to remediate any issues that currently exist for the title insurance company. So staff sees no reason why we shouldn't.
Okay. Any questions for Dan?
No comment, though. This is an example of something we didn't know there was anything wrong till you find out there's something wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
So you go try to sell it or something like that. So I'm sure there's other properties in the county that are similar situations. So on an individual basis, we kind of decide these things. But yeah, the properties, they've been living there for 40 years or somebody has. Obviously, it's a mistake. It's been working.
Well,
So-
43 years later, it's hard to figure out
Yeah.
what happened back then.
Yeah.
So I think truly the best way to move forward is to make it legal and to clear up any issues with that might stand. So, Mr. Chair, I have a motion when you're ready.
Please.
I move to approve this subdivision exemption number 25-004 for Golden for 13440 County Road 45 in Coaldale.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you,
so
Don.
much.
Yeah, we have had a inordinate amount of these, actually.
Just look how
This-
cleaned
the
up
last
this
year
county's
and a half.
getting.
They're certainly surfacing.
Yes. Okay. Next item on our agenda, new renumbered item number 4 is minor subdivision 25-004, 6E. This is a request for approval of a minor subdivision creating 2 lots located at 566th Street in Penrose. The applicant is Travis Jenkins. Travis.
Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good morning, sir.
Doing well, sir.
Good, good. I would like to make one clarification. The address is actually 540 6th Street. I don't know if that makes a difference.
540?
or not,
It does
but of the
on my
current,
end.
the current house there.
Kind of makes a difference.
I think 560 is the neighbor, so I don't know if they want their subdivided or not, but
I think we would rather not have that headache on our end.
yeah,
So thank you for that.
sure.
Go ahead, tell us what you got going on.
Basically just a simple minor subdivision. It's a 10-acre tract that I purchased. There's an existing residence, there's an existing hayfield. Plan is just split it basically slightly in half. sell the house, and I'm going to keep the field right now to farm. There's a couple exemptions, I think that's the word we're looking for. The one is the second lot is longer than twice it is wide. The reason we did that is because the existing fence, existing irrigation, and it optimizes the size of the hayfield. So that is in there. And then the second one was the drainage plan, because until a residence is built sometime, we don't have any idea about the drainage and where things are gonna go. So pretty cut and dry, nothing fancy.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Jenkins?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's move on to our staff report. Mr. Victoria.
All right, minor sub 25-004, 6E minor sub. Applicant Travis Jenkins requesting approval for a minor sub that will create a total of 2 lots located at 540 Street in Penrose. This lot is located in the residential 2 zone district. Both proposed lots meet the minimum requirements of the zone district. Let's see here. Lot number 1, which is the new proposed lot, fronts on East Street and 6th Street. Lot number 2 is on 6th. Lot number 1's corner lot. The only hiccup, lot number 2, wherever possible, the depth of lots should not be greater than twice its width. Lot number 2 barely exceeds that, I think by about 58 feet. But that's been pretty standard for us to not have an issue with that. Both lots will front on county-maintained roadways. Lot number 1, we already have a contract agreement for water. It will be serviced by the Penrose Water District, and the proposed sanitation is going to be OWTS. Lot number 2, served by Penrose Water, OWTS, and all the services. Lot number 2 has a dwelling, a shed, and a lean-to on it. Lot number 1 is vacant. The waiver request is the deferment of the drainage plan report until the time of development of Lot 1, and requesting a variance from Fremont County subdivision regulations for Lot 2, Appendix 1, Section B, Number 10, the wherever possible, the depth of lot should not be greater than twice its width. The applicant states that this design was done to optimize the hayfield while maintaining the minimum lot requirement size of 4.5 acres. And again, that one only exceeds by 58.97 feet. Comments received, Beaver Park. There is an underground irrigation pipe on the north fence line of the proposed Lot 2 that provides water to both proposed Lot 1 and Lot 2. That will remain the same as the water delivery to both lots. The underground pipe is the responsibility of the property owner. And Beaver Park Water's maintenance ends at the concrete box on 6th Street. Building Department soil classification test report was submitted, and it's the recommendation of the department to designate the northwest corner of this property for the installation of an OWTS. County engineer supported the deferment of the drainage plan until development. DOT just had a couple concerns about maintaining roadway and not having drainage leave the property. As a standard, an access permit will be applied for at development. So with all of this being said, the Planning and Zoning Department recommends approval with the following. Approval of the 2 waiver requests, waiver number 1 for the drainage plan to be deferred, and waiver number 2 in the Fremont County Master Plan, Chapter 4, Category D. Agriculture is our goal to encourage farm and rural ranch land to remain in active and productive agricultural use. So we support the length versus twice the width, it exceeding. No contingencies, and we had a couple conditions that regarded to notes on the plat, but we have received a new version of that. We just haven't had time to review it. So we think that's all buttoned up. We just have to double check. So just some plat language. And that is it.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Victoria?
Yeah, so in
Comments?
the motion, you still want those conditions listed just in case?
I would prefer safety.
Yeah.
I think it's handled, but if we could just do that just in case.
Just, not really a question, I guess, just a comment that if we are going to be granting a waiver and a variance on one of our own subdivision regulations, I think that agriculture is about the best reason that we could possibly grant that. So thanks for looking at it the way that you're looking at it.
Yeah.
And just so folks also know on the length versus width intent there, this is an obvious case where, we can grant something like this, and it does no harm to the surrounding lots. It does no harm to the intent of the use of the land in the area. Just kind of a reminder, we've had this discussion a couple or three times in the last couple of years on this particular regulation. It's something important to keep in place because we have situations across this state where people have used the ability to cut it in as many thin slices, and you end up with this pancake stack of lots next to each other, which are all legal by size, as far as the total square foot or acres. And what you've done in that situation is created a density problem, even though you're technically correct in how many acres or the size of the individual lots. But it's created density situations, which is a problem for sanitation and septic and things like that in those situations. The San Luis Valley is a great example of that in some places with the mile deep and an inch wide kind of lots. So anyway, that's a long way of saying this is a good a good situation for this kind of waiver request. All right, anything else? Any other questions or comments or
Got a motion for you.
motions?
First of all, between the bread making and the pancakes, you guys need to stop that.
We're getting kind of hungry here. We're
Second
going to
of
start
all-
talking about cinnamon rolls here in a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you, Travis, for keeping it into agriculture. I know you guys are a pretty big farming family over there, and I appreciate what you guys do and helping with that. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve minor subdivision 25-0046E. It's a minor subdivision located at 546th Street in Penrose with a waiver with two waivers. One waiver request 1 is for the drainage plan to be done at the time of building. Waiver request 2 is for the Fremont County Master Plan, Chapter 4, Category D, agriculture is our goal to encourage farm and ranch and rural land remain in active and productive agricultural use. With also the conditions, if they're not already done, to remove the note from the plat along the plat, the note that says along with septic system, gosh, I can't read, specific septic design and address. And then another note that states the northwest corner of the lot 1 will be primary for the OWTS location.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, well, not so much. It said pancakes and loaves of bread, I think.
I will second that.
Okay. It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Travis.
Thanks,
Thank
Travis.
you. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Next item, minor subdivision 25-001, Sinclair Minor subdivision, creating a total of 2 lots located at 350 Sangre de Cristo Drive in Coaldale. And with us is Gwendolyn Allen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am representing the owners of approximately 55-acre parcel in Howard, Zone R2, and they are seeking to split that parcel into 2 lots, one approximately 20 acres, the other approximately 35 acres. They have a home on the 20-acre lot that they'll be retaining and are attempting to sell to a buyer that's in place to use the 35 acres for agricultural purposes. We've been through the application process with the planning department and are prepared to meet the contingency items and conditions The owners are hesitant to incur additional expenses until learning whether the commissioners are going to look favorably on waiver requests that we've presented, basically seeking a waiver from the public road requirements. This is a property that has easement access. There's an existing road, but it was never dedicated to the public. The easement's been in place since 1954, and the road serves not only this property, but properties to the south and west of my client's property. They don't own all of the property through which that road traverses from the public road. So the addresses for those properties are all on Sangre de Cristo Drive, but the actual dedicated portion of Sangre de Cristo Drive ends north of my client's property, runs through a couple of other properties owned by other property owners, and then continues south and west of our client's property. So we're asking for a waiver of the public road requirements to allow the existing road to continue to function as it has since 1954. And we've also proposed, as part of the application package, the recording of a declaration of easement through the large parcel that the road runs through, to clarify for the benefit of not only what we hope will be the new owner of the second parcel, the 35 acres that they intend to use for agricultural purposes, but also for the other existing owners of properties that use that road that runs through our client's property.
Okay. Any questions from Ms. Allen?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And turn to our staff report, Mr. Victoria.
Here we have 25-001 Sinclair, minor sub, applicant Janice Keeling, consultant attorney Gwen Allen. The purpose, requesting approval for a minor subdivision that will create a total of 2 lots located at 350 Sangre de Cristo Drive in Coaldale. Lot number 1 is vacant, and it's currently agricultural irrigated hayfield. Lot number 2, dwelling without buildings. Lot number 1 is proposed at 35.10 acres. Lot number 2 at 19.42 acres. Exceeds the requirements for that zone district. So meets all of the development requirements in design. When we get to subdivision regulations, Appendix 1 for lot standards, fronting on a public street, lot number 1 and 2 would be by easement. Lot number 1 has a proposed wedge shape. There's a setback line drawn on the lot for a building setback line. Lot number 1, they're proposing to record a declaration of easement if this goes through. Mineral interests are the Gregories, who have been notified. Lot number 2 has all the proposed utilities. Lot number 1, lot number 2 is serviced by a well, an OWTS, Sangre de Cristo, and other providers. The consultant is requesting a waiver from Fremont County Subdivision Regs IB4, fronting on a public street. Fremont County Subdivision Regs IB8, access to a public dedicated street. Fremont County Subdivision Regs IB9, sidelines of lots at right angles to the street, and Fremont County Subdivision Regs IC, which is access standards, as well as a topographic soils report and a drainage report. The Fremont County engineer, a deferment of the drainage plan until time of development would be acceptable. DOT, the standard access permit at the time of development. Fremont County Building Department, deferrable of a soil testing is acceptable. Western Fremont Fire Protection District, they recommended additional road base and cover over a culvert located in the easement, and the applicant has already replaced the culvert and added road base. With this said, the Planning and Zoning Department recommends denial due to the following, and that's that Fremont County Subdivision Regs IB4, fronting on a public street. Fremont County Subdivision Regs IB8, access to a public dedicated street. Fremont County subdivision regs IB9, the sidelines of lots at right angles to a street, and the Fremont County subdivision regs IC, which is the access standards. However, if the commission recommends approval, staff would recommend the following contingencies, conditions, and approval of waivers. And the contingency would be, there's a letter from the Division of Water Resources dated March 5th, 2025, and that's to reclassify the well. Conditions would be a plat note about the drainage plan at the time of development for Lot 1, the recording of the declaration of easement on Lot 2, a driveway access permit at time of development, and the topo and soils information required at time of OWTS, and the approval of waivers 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the roadway standard, IB4, IB8, IB9, and IC. Planning Commission did review this application, and they recommended approval with all of the recommended contingencies, conditions, and approval of waivers.
Thank you, Dan. So the conditions are all pretty standard in situations like this.
Yes, sir.
Really what we're talking about is those waivers on the public street access
Yes, sir.
issues. Okay.
Yeah, the easement coming in from the cul-de-sac to this property is the
Correct.
sticking point.
Right. How far is that from the cul-de-sac at Sanger Cristo down to the north property line?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, there it is. 351, okay. Is all of that easement on Lot 20?
Yes.
But that easement already exists, correct?
Yes, it does.
It's a recorded easement?
Yes. I believe so, yes.
Is there,
And just to clarify, I think
Come
on up
Come
to
up
the-
here, please.
yeah,
Yes.
Turn the mic on again. There you go.
thank you.
Thanks.
to clarify, I think that easement actually runs on both lots 19 and 20. So there's two lots north of, I can't see the lot numbers, and unfortunately don't have the full size in front of me, but
20's on the right.
yeah, so my recollection is that the recorded easement actually has, would necessitate the owners of both lots 19 and 20 to,
So does the easement center line go down the property line then, or? Because that's not what it shows on this. It looks like the property line between 19 and 20 is the west line of the 60-foot easement.
well, I certainly won't dispute what the surveyor has shown. So,
Please, come on up. What was your name?
I'm Tom Purvis.
I should actually ask you to introduce yourself when you get to the mic. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Tom Purvis. I'm in Coaldale. I'm the man who's proposing to buy Lot 1.
Okay.
All right? That, and I'm good friends with the Biedermans who own Lot 20. That road has drifted westward over the decades. It really should be bumped over.
Bumped over.
Bumped over a little to the west.
To the
be
west.
closer to the property line between those two lots. And I don't think there was any, I mean, it was put in there a long time ago.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about, because the plat does show the existing road bed, which is
Yeah.
kind of running down the center of that 60-foot right-of-way.
Yes, sir.
But the
And-
intent was for it to be closer to the property line.
Exactly. And it would be better if it was. It's right on the fall line, it develops ruts, it's really not fixable. So it just eats road base.
I guess for our purposes, when we're looking at this, there's still a 60-foot easement there regardless
Regardless, yes, sir.
of where that actual path lies.
Once I can buy a backhoe, I'm probably gonna try to work with those property owners to see if we can't reroute it a little bit. Biedermans would kinda like it if it wasn't. So, anyway, though, that's the story about that.
Biedermans are lot 20?
20, that's
20,
correct.
okay.
Yes.
And they're not here today, though?
No,
Okay.
they're not.
And lot 19 is who?
I haven't met her. Biedermans have referred to her. She's apparently a really nice person and great neighbor, so I'm not too worried about that. And it's pretty far from her house, the property line. Her house sits back, so.
But you're saying that Biederman, Lot 20, they're on board with
Whatever
this?
we need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, they really want to see me be able to buy Lot 1, so.
Okay.
Do you have a letter from them, anything from them explaining that, yeah, they're all in favor of doing this?
I'd be happy to get it. I mean, I could get them on the phone and put it close to, no, I do not, but I could certainly get something like that.
You know, I know kind of where I'm leaning on this anyway, but I'd feel better at least having that in the file.
Sure.
That there is a letter of support from this, the Servient estate on Lot 20, that, I mean, because, well, I'm not gonna speak for the other two or anybody else up here. The concern that we have when we start talking about things like this and we start talking about waivers, this doesn't just affect the current owners or the potential new owners of this lot. We're talking about every owner subsequent to this.
Exactly, sure.
Is going to be affected by this. And granting this thing, you know, we're affecting every subsequent owner and all the neighbors. And so we have to take these things into consideration.
Yeah.
When we start talking about increasing the density across an easement. Subdividing the land isn't the issue, it's
More
the
traffic.
access getting to there.
Sure.
And we have to take these things one day at a time and one issue at a time and one situation at a time. And we're doubling the density going across that road. Now it's only increasing by 1, but it's still doubling the density going across an easement.
Well, the property 2 owner accesses theirs through the driveway that well, yeah, I guess they do go across the easement. Yeah, sorry. Correct.
And that's, even if we're only increasing by 1, we're still increasing it. And so we have to make sure this is what we want to do. And also having the buy-in of Lot 20. I'm glad Commissioner Bell brought that up.
I would also say this affects Lot 19 as well. And you said someone new owns that you haven't met, haven't had this
She
discussion
isn't
with?
new. I just don't live in that neighborhood.
Okay.
I've met a lot of the neighbors. I know
But you
that-
haven't met her?
No, I have
This
not.
one? Okay. So you don't know how she might feel about this?
Biedermans have talked to her about it.
Okay.
She's not upset that there's going to be another person living up there. And the living up there thing is going to be a minute. I'm a farmer. What I'm going to do right away is get parts of my operation. You know, in February, March, I'm going to have 15 new baby goats. And I figured they'll go over there and graze all summer. You don't want them around the moms if you're going to try to, you know, have a dairy, which I'm going to stay where, the dairy will stay where it is. But anyway, I want to get started on utilizing that land. That's really my concern as a farmer. I want to start. I have been, you know, irrigating it. The thing about that piece of land is it comes with 2 CFS of water out of Cottonwood Creek, 1882. That water right had gone on the abandoned list. Right? People found out and they started finding somebody to get the water on it, but the ditch was terrible. I put significant resources into fixing the ditch. I'm getting all of my water now. So I'm committed to this, and I don't know what will happen if you guys say no, but I suspect I'll have to buy the whole place.
So just, we're talking about concerns, you know, going into something like this and what it means to the future.
Yeah.
There's, and this is why we want to emphasize, you know, we take these situations one at a time and one situation at a time, one application at a time. And if this was probably, hard to talk about the what-ifs here, but if this was an R3 zoning and not an R2 zoning, it might be a simpler calculation here, because you couldn't subdivide either of the lots down any farther. But if there are two, Dan, what's the lot size they could go down to?
4.5 acres.
4.5 acres.
Yes, sir.
And so it gives a little pause there where we'd have to give, if we approve something like this, it also has to come with a warning. We're not inclined to allow further subdivision in this situation where you don't have, but you might not, but somebody in the future might.
Sure.
And having not just the increase of one lot going across that easement, but potentially the increase of multiple lots in the future going across that easement, which
I would be inclined actually, and I've already discussed with various people, putting it under conservation easement. I don't want it to be chopped up into lots. It's wonderful soil. It's really remarkable. The soil is this kind of blonde colored stuff, completely distinct from the trees area. No, it should be farmed. It's been farmed since the 1800s. It'd be a shame to chop it up into little dry parcels, in my opinion. I'll do everything I can to keep that from happening.
Okay. Any other questions?
So I have a comment, and I would like to direct this, I think, to Ms. Allen, because you may want to respond to what I have to say. It's not really a question, but you may want to respond. So my concern is, you had said this easement has been in place since 1954, and stated that you want to continue to function as it has in the past. My concern, though, is future growth, as our chairman has been pointing out, and the potential of harming others with the additional use of an existing easement, but using it as a public road when in fact it is not a public road.
It is a private road over an existing easement. We recognize that, which is why we've asked for the waiver of the public road requirements. I don't see that creation of one additional lot is going to have any impactful change on the density of use or access. I understand the concern about future additional subdivision. I would point out that any party seeking subdivision in the future would have to go through the same application process and either meet the same public road requirements or seek a waiver for future further subdivision. And also just note that there hasn't been any objection from the owners of lots 19 or 20 throughout this application process. So,
thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions for the applicant?
Well, I do have a comment, and I think Mr. Purvis brought it up once, but that lot number 1 is vacant agriculture land, and in the application it says it's intended to stay vacant.
that was my understanding at the time of application, that it was going to be used for agricultural purposes. The buyer obviously has a better sense of the future.
Yeah, you sell it to somebody, you don't have that right to tell them what to do on that. So, I mean, I hope that it stays agriculture and vacant land like it is, and like you've indicated. With R2, it does limit the possibilities of what can happen in there too. I mean, it's fine to graze it and stuff, so just wanted to throw that out there on the table while we're on the record.
Okay.
I also would make the comment that I would be much more comfortable with an approval on this if we had some sort of a letter or permission in the file from the owners of both lots 19 and 20 saying they understand what this is and that they're comfortable with that additional use of an easement.
So as a contingency?
Or as tabling to the next meeting, so.
Either way.
If I may just comment
please,
to
go
one
ahead.
for that, and we certainly could seek those letters. Both of those owners did take subject to that easement when they acquired their properties.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to hear.
That's true. And, but, understanding that what the use was of the easement at the time that they got it, and we were changing that potentially here, so that'd be my comeback on that, so to speak. What's your pleasure? I mean, we can, if the only thing that's hanging us up is a couple of letters, we can make things contingent on receiving those letters before the plat is signed, and just like with anything else, we can make those.
So I would make the statement that I'm really not in favor of doing this, especially without the letters. I'm not comfortable with a condition of receiving the letters. I need to read those letters. I need to see what they say. I would look upon it more favorably with letters in hand. So I would probably not be inclined today to vote approval in my voice for this, even with the condition of those letters being approved.
Okay.
If I might interject, perhaps the applicant or the applicant's representative would have a request at this point with regard to how we might proceed today. Perhaps one of them might have a preference as to how we would proceed and would make that request.
Our preference, understanding that, we prefer the vote be favorable, but our preference would be to have an approval with conditions and contingencies, understanding that we've got to meet each and every one of those contingencies and conditions before we can proceed with the actual subdivision. The parties that have been under contract for quite some time with a lot of uncertainty surrounding the application and the application process, even prior to my involvement. And I think they're awaiting some sense that they are going to have a path forward before incurring expenses associated with the conditions that need to be satisfied with respect to the water and the wells.
So they're not asking to table to the second Tuesday of November?
We would prefer not to table it, but instead to seek and hopefully receive the approval of the waivers with the contingencies and conditions. That being said, I'm trying to think through the consequences of a negative vote as of today. If there's I'm not familiar with any appeals process or what that would entail. But obviously, if there's an inclination towards approval with those contingencies and waivers, we'd prefer to have the certainty today so that they can move forward with the process.
Perhaps it might benefit the parties and your clients to take just a few moments to just recess for a few moments and have a discussion with them. Perhaps that might be helpful and beneficial.
If that's a possibility, we would like to do that.
Or perhaps someone who is here would also like to speak, but I think it might perhaps be beneficial to take just a few moments.
We'll be in a brief recess.
Thank you.
Meeting will come back to order. Ms. Allen?
Thank you for the opportunity to conference with the buyer and with the owners of the property. If the question is being posed to the group, the existing owners and the potential buyer, the preference is to table this for the next meeting, and we will provide letters from the owners of lots 19 and 20 in advance of that meeting to reconsider the waiver request at that time with those letters in front of you.
Okay. The next, I'm tabling it to the 10th.
November 10th, which is a Monday.
Oh, we moved it up. Right.
Yeah, Monday, the 10th. Thank you. Okay, well, still requires a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Sir?
in respect for Commissioner Bell's request and their conference and their decision, it moved to table this to the November 10th meeting, which was moved to November 10th because of the normal day is a holiday. That's a Monday, I believe, for conclusion.
Okay, this motion is to, I'm sorry, I will second that motion. The request is to, and the motion is to table this to November 10,
9 a.m.
9 a.m. And I would assume that the assumption is with that request and with the tabling would come the letters. And is there anything else that would put your mind at ease further?
If there is, I will communicate with our planning and zoning director, and they can communicate with you. Thank you for the question.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That is tabled to November 10th. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, new item number 6, newly numbered item number 6, the appointment of a new member to the Fremont County Fair Board for a term beginning January 1, 2026 and ending December 31, 2028.
Mr. Chair, I'll take this one. We will have an opening, is why we're doing this now. What person that is currently on the Fair Board whose term expires December 31st is no longer going to continue with the Fair Board. We had a letter of interest from Angelica Zorilia, probably butchered that last name, who was interested in becoming a Fair Board member, and that's why the term would start January 1st, 2026, and end in December 31st, 2028. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Angelica Zorilia to the Fair Board, term beginning January 1st, 2026, and ending December 31st, 2028.
I second that, just with a note. She's already very, very involved in not only 4-H, but in the Fremont County Fair. So I think she'll make an excellent board member for us.
I think so, I agree.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Last item is the adoption of the 2026 Fremont County holiday schedules. This is something that happens this time of year, every year for the following year. So, who wants to talk about this? Please, Mr. Croce.
Okay. So just a little background. Fremont County government currently utilizes 2 holiday schedules, a 10-hour holiday schedule for our staff that work a 4-day, 10-hour work week, and an 8-hour holiday schedule for the staff that work a 5-day, 8-hour day. Additionally, the commissioners grant 10 hours of floating holiday leave annually that staff can use throughout the year at their discretion. This amounts to 90 hours. This currently amounts to 90 hours of holiday leave for all county employees. Starting this coming year, 26, Martin Luther King Jr. Day will be recognized as a paid Fremont County holiday for those employees on a 10-hour, 4-day-a-week schedule. And those employees that are already on a 5-day, 8-hour work week will be granted an additional 10 hours of floating holiday leave as those staff already recognize Martin Luther King holiday that are working a 5-day, 8-hour work week. So with this update, each full-time employee with the county will now receive a total of 100 hours of paid holiday leave annually. It's a little confusing because we have the 8 and the 10-hour work week, so.
If I could.
Please.
So a couple of comments that I would make in addition to Mr. Carochi here is part of the confusion, I believe, comes because primarily our 8-hour work days are followed by the Department of Human Services, which is sort of a quasi-state organization as well as county. The state is already closed on Martin Luther King Day, and so there's no reason for our Department of Human Services to be at work in the office if they literally cannot do anything on their computer system. And so we realized earlier this year when Martin Luther King Jr. Day came around and we were populating this office, all of our people were populating these offices, and yet no one from the public was here. So everyone who has the job of interacting with the public all day long, they were sitting at their desks trying to find something to do. And we realized that's probably not the best use of public funds and public time. And so we've had this discussion a couple of times, and in the end, we decided that it would be better to give everyone the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday as well, and let them go do what they would like to do that day rather than force them to sit at their desks with nothing to do. So maybe that clears it up, maybe it doesn't, but Mr. Chair, I have a motion when you're ready.
Please.
Yes, I would move to adopt the 2026 Fremont County holiday schedules for both the 8-hour and 10-hour workers as presented.
I completely understand that. I second that.
Good.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And with that, we are all out of stuff to do today. We are adjourned.